A fascinating look at a different side of European culture now on BBC4, Czech Sword Dancing.
Czechoslovakia was created in 1918, the end of the First World War. The new country was optimistic and confident, and here in the city of Brno, a unique cultural and social life developed. It was home to great composer Leoš Janáček. There was a significant school of modernist architecture, and life seemed full of possibilities. In 1920, the Moravian Regional Museum appointed a new curator, František Pospíšil, to look after its collection of agricultural implements. His real interest was ethnography, particularly sword dancing. It was archaic, ritualistic, and fun. Pospíšil was also a pioneering filmmaker, whose images provide a fascinating glimpse of the past.
O existenci Pospíšilových materiálů se přirozeně vědělo. Vědělo se, že fotil, vědělo se, že sbíral, ale vzhledem k problematičnosti autora jsme s tím až do zhruba 90. let nezabývali, všem pak jsme našli pohled. Pojďte se podívat. Pospíšil měl dvě vášně. Jedna byla technika, druhou byl tanec. V roce 1911 vydává svou stěžení studii, a to je mešový zbrojný tanec na slovanské půdě, kterou vydává v odborném časopise. Celou tu dobu se tancem intenzivně zabýval a dokumentoval, to znamená nejen sbíral a zaznamenával, ale fotil. Jak se dostal Pospíšil k filmové kameře, tak to je opravdu dnes záhadou. Ale tak, jak máme zdokumentováno dokonce, jaké papíry používal na fotografování, tak bohužel k filmu nemáme vůbec nic. On se filmem zabýval v době, kdy vlastně se rodil žánr dokumentárního filmu a žánr etnologického dokumentu. A domníváme se, že první film musel natočit v roce 1922, protože z roku 1921 pochází snímky ze Strání. A jestliže v roce 1922 Robert Flaherty natočil Nanuka člověk primitivního, který je brán jako zrod národopisného dokumentu, tak ten František Pospíšil stojí těsně vedle něj a zatímco Flaherty je brán na všech filmových školách, tak o Františku Pospíšilovi neví vůbec nikdo.
In 1922, Pospíšil had spent more than 15 years obsessively researching sword dancing. Now for the first time something amazing was possible. With a 35mm film camera, he could capture the movement of the dancers and show it to others. Pospíšil put a map of Europe up in his office, identifying all the places where sword dancing took place. He set about documenting as many examples as he could, from Spain to Ukraine, paying for all the trips himself. In the beginning, he seems to have assumed that sword dancing was specifically Slavic. By now, he knew this was far from the truth. Ethnography was something of a free-for-all in the early 1920s, with no accepted international standards. By 1924, Pospíšil was travelling to European conferences, still at his own expense, and by luck met a fellow sword dance enthusiast in the cultural patron Lord Warburg.
I have 3 years of letters by and to František Pospíšil. The first one from the 8th of December 1927, where he responds to an invitation to give a lecture in Hamburg, and he says precisely he wants to talk about sword dances, Schwerttänze, and he will bring material, slides and film material.
I will bring about 50 slides, 1,500 meters of film, Pospíšil wrote. In my lecture, I constantly swap series of slides with film shots. It will last 1.5 hours, and I can't shorten it and remain comprehensive. A film analysis is always more complex than a lecture with slides. As well as inviting Pospíšil to Hamburg, Lord Warburg recommended a location in northeast England, where he could film an example of British sword dancing. Pospíšil made his way with his heavy camera from Brno to Yorkshire, a key region for sword dancers in Britain. Interestingly, the tradition had died out here in the late 19th century, and had only recently been revived when Pospíšil filmed it.
Let me have a look. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Well, cool. A sword dance is a pagan fertility dance, allegedly. The dances were allegedly brought to this village by Vikings. So the Viking fertility dances, if you believe history, now I can't disprove it, you can't disprove it, no one can disprove it. That's what's told. That's the story. Find another area, but it's been taken from this area. The idea was that at a certain time in a year, the men would gather around a sacred object. It would be a stone, it could be a tree, something that they decided that was sacred. And then what they'd do is they'd form a circle. The idea is that as you form a circle, you walk around, you clash the sword together. What that then does is that drives out the evil spirits. You then form the circle, so now we've got a piece of land where I've got my sword, you've got that end, and we're all now going round in the circle, holding the swords. Right. Well, you dancing in that, the men can't, you know, drag one of them in with you. How is it? 1, 2, 3, 4.
When I was a small boy, the team coming round to our house, and all these dancers in pink and blue. And when it smells, you think so, what it is, and you say they're the golden plough dots. That's when they used to go around all year. Did you say when they used to go with me? The teams used to go down a spot called Church Street. The women used to form the coin up, throw them down the balconies, and the plough would catch them and they were right on.
Right, quiet everybody! I want to know that this lot, our plus lot, going out looking something like, right? And I'm going to be blood angry if you go out looking nice. The only hats you wear are plus lot hats or dark blue ones, right? And you, and everybody's hide properly. All right? Cheers, guys. Right, off we go. Helen, you go. Yeah. Chief cook and bottle washer. We make sure they're fed, we make sure they're clean, we make sure they get to where they're meant to be on time. Hopefully. That's what women do. We don't dance. Just make sure they're fit to dance.
A panu profesorovi Pospíšilovi je zajímavá i takový velmi drobný detail v jeho gardrobě. Zatímco jiní panové si do kravaty zapichují jehlici s oznakem svého klubu své školy, tak Pospíšil má na klopě žaketu odznak panečníku anglického mečového konce.
Last week, more letters arrived from England, wrote Pospíšil. The president of the Folklore Society has invited me to show my films on sword dancing at the Jubilee Congress. Many members from all over England will come to London who believe that sword dancing is English and do not accept that there's any in Eastern Europe. This could be very interesting.
What you've got is, you've got tunic. This is changed. It were originally famine socks, should I say. And the pink, okay? Now, we have another set of tunics, which are blue. The idea being that pink and the blue are from the political parties of the 18th, 19th century in England with the Whigs and Tories. That's what they were. So when he went out to dance, he put 3 men in pink and he put 3 men in blue, and he didn't offend anybody. One of the things you do when you're dancing, you dance in a circle, you have to clash them together. And what that's for, the noise is to drive, because you're in a circle, the noise is to drive out the evil spirits. That's what the idea is. But if you've got Miles Taylor, bang edge on edge, they tip. So when you get hold of them, you're actually singing with your hand bleeding.
Pospíšil občas poza té kamery vystoupil a s tím svými protagonisty se nechal buď vyfotit, a nebo se objeví v tom filmu. Je krásný, když v snímku z roku 1927 vlastně z Anglie, tak on si tam tepe s protagonistou toho tancelkou, ale to je ještě daleko, možná nejplavnější. Někdy se tam myhne jeho žena.
The farm workers didn't get employment 12 months a year. The farm workers were employed 10, 11 months of the year. So maybe a month, 2 month period within the year, towards the end, beginning of the year, when they had no work. So what are you going to do? So you go sword dancing. So they would go out Monday through Friday, and they would travel 30, 40 miles, which is a fair distance. Within the village, we teach dance to any boy over the age of 6. So he comes around with his granddad, and he's been mad keen, because he followed me around all day yesterday, And wherever I go, he's gone since he was a baby in a pushchair because he loves dancing. And if you saw her out dancing, there were people there who had grandsons, there were sons and fathers all dancing together. So you got 3 generations within the village. I mean, in terms of tradition, it's the oldest long-stood tradition in British Isles.
Me having my dad being in it, that's how, like, just going with him, watching him do it for the first time was how I first saw it. And because we live in the village, it's just something that's happened, so it's just been around since we were young, so that's why we first started and saw it.
A lot of people from all over the country that come back to Scotland for the day dance to meet the to walk around with us and follow us dances.
So what we have now is we were able, because of our position, and you have to understand, a lot of teams in Britain are in cities, big towns, urban conurbations. They don't have this. They don't have this. And that's why, if you will, we survive. Because they don't have the way that we hold the thing together. It's held together because we have a community that values, has its values, and people who move in, given those values, and they understand what it means to have something like that.
In letter to Lord Warburg, Percival wrote, "I have filmed about sword dances from all over Europe. If you know somebody who would be interested in this film, I'd be greatly obliged to you. All my efforts to sell my scientific film or exchange it for another of comparable value have come to nothing."
And then he gave the lecture on 17th of March, and he writes a letter of thanks. I read it in German, a particular passage, showing his gratitude to Professor Warburg. Professor Warburg ist die einzige Seele, die mich verstanden hatte und das ganze Thema des europäischen Schwerttanzes kritisch beurteilt hatte. An 3 internationalen Kongressen habe ich keine Seele gefunden, die mir etwas zu sagen hätte oder mich in diesem Thema unterstützen könnte.
Percival frequently denounced the academic world in his letters, lamenting the lack of an institution anywhere in Europe dedicated to ethnographic film. But his frustration with lack of recognition didn't slow him down. Sadly, there are few records of his filming trips, but it's known that in 1927, Percival visited Basque region. He was interested in the small town of Ozvěte and the mountain villages between Bilbao and San Sebastian. This region is the home of a dance called the elevation of captain. It's an ancient initiation ritual performed by local boys when they reach the age of maturity.
Chales no pueden ser ni niños ni viejos. Ni viejos. Tienen que ser, yo soy intermedio. Tienen que ser chavales. Chales, no sé, tipo mozos. ¿Cómo se cogen? De 15 años en adelante. Eso es. ¿Cómo se cogen? No, se hace un llamamiento, el que quiera aprender a bailar, pues venga, se apuntan, se les enseña lo que es la danza y danza, la danza de los chavales, o sea, pero un día otro. El tema es de que tienes que estar, pues igual 2 años enseñándoles para que salgan, como han salido este año, pues a bailar a plaza.
Percival byl taky jedním z prvních propagátorů lidové kultury a jejího inscenování. To znamená, že tento jev nemusel převeden vždycky zcela čistě jen v přirozeném prostředí, ale i v tom přeneseném. A to je problém právě Baskitka, kde jsou krásné záběry ze San Sebastianu. Pospíše neváhal použít skupinu španělských tanečníků, přemluvil je, aby mu tančili, aby mu ten tanec předvedli na chodníku promenády. Na těchto snímcích je krásné taky to, že můžeme konfrontovat stav toho tance v minulosti a dnes.
Es de 1913, empieza. Y Cecil Sharp, que es el que recupera las danzas inglesas, el que estudia, por eso la sociedad inglesa folclore se llama hoy el lugar donde está Cecil Sharp House. Cecil Sharp recibe información de que hay danzas aquí iguales que las inglesas, muy próximas. Por eso, de los documentos que aparecen, ahí aparece una relación, y tenemos ya en el año 27, va a Talford a Bayona y trae a los bailarines ingleses de la Sociedad Inglesa de Folclore. Ahí da una conferencia sobre el sentido de las danzas. Todos ellos van a París y a Londres, los bailarines. Luego, claro, aparece Francis Postville, aparece también como persona citada, por lo que vemos en el film, en lo que conserva de los documentos de Postville. Postville no solamente filma en Le Croix, sino también filma aquí en San Sebastián, en un lugar que iremos, es conocido, es un lugar muy conocido. Aquí, el esfro de la nadie, pienso, aquí. Aquí. Pues bailando, esto no lo hacían. Y luego la patada. Pero estoy muy viejo. Estoy bastante viejito.
La tradición es que de cuándo no sabemos. Datos de 1500, 1600, cómo se pagaba por los danzaris, por salir a la plaza. Normalmente vino y algo de dinero, pero ya durante muchas y muchas generaciones. ¿De cuándo no sabemos? Hay datos que hemos recogido en 1500 y pico. Aparecen datos de cómo el ayuntamiento pagaba a los danzantes una cantidad de dinero y tal. ¿De cuándo?
No sé, nosotros también hemos sido danzaris todos. Ahora viene la nueva generación, pero, Barru, todos hemos sido danzaris. En vuelta a ser danzaris muy para el orgullo, están muy orgullosos de ser danzaris. Pero también hay que trabajar, para las cosas también. Voy a sudar.
Jsem si jistá, že tyto cesty nemohl sponzorovat svého učitelského platu a že mu na to přispívala jeho rodina, jeho otec. Pospíšil byl posedlý tématem a tomu obětoval vše. Nejdříve peníze své rodiny, celou podporu, kterou dostával, a posléze i věno své ženy. To všechno obětoval vlastně svému snu, který byl mečový tanec. A mečový tanec vlastně se stal leitmotivem celého jeho života.
Puede ser ahora muy bien. Tienes 20 años, 22, buscas chica y entonces, coño, racneas. Pero razón, todo el mundo tiene ganas de bailar hasta el final, no hay razón.
Yo cuando dejé de danzar lloré.
Claro.
Y ese también.
Y todo el mundo.
Cuando yo dejé salir estos a la plaza y cuando terminan de bailar, bailamos nosotros. Pero es que es una pelea generacional. Es una pelea.
Pues hoy mismo, cuando han salido estos ya los chavales, que ya es la siguiente generación, la segunda generación después mía, es la tercera de pues te sale una lagrimilla.
¿Quieres bailar?
No, me parece muy bien. Es esto, si te entra el gusano. Del cascarón, voy a decir, han salido a la plaza, ahora sus mozos, hasta sus padres le respetan mucho más que hace 2 días. Sus padres mismos Quieras esperar, yo la plaza de la plaza. Mi hijo ha bailado la plaza. Es un modo que vea el calimocho, que se divierta. Hasta hace 2 días no. Todavía no había salido a plaza a demostrar su hombría o su valía. Y ahora ya, tranquilamente, este año no he hecho ni una cosa. Pero dentro de 2 años o 1 año no van a casa a dormir. Y luego a la mañana a bailar. Eso hemos hecho yo, ha hecho este, ha hecho el anterior, ha hecho el anterior mío y todos. Hemos hecho la pasa, se va a bailar, sudar la camiseta.
Causa es enorme, no dormir. Toda la noche estar cuerda, pero a la mañana siguiente firmes allá
a sudar la camiseta. A sudar la camiseta.
Pospisil asks Babu to contact people in Prague, whether a single university professor has financially ruined himself because of his scholarship. He doesn't know a single university teacher, and he's obviously sour that he doesn't make a career with his research in his own country.
In 10 years of our country's existence, Pospisil wrote, I never received a single penny for my foreign travels, even though I've travelled around the whole of Europe. I've also visited numerous foreign conferences, I've given lectures everywhere. With so much publicity for Slavonic dances, all for nothing, all futile. One of the first dance films Pospisil made was shot on occasion in southern Bohemia, in a region with a mixed population of Czechs and Germans, in and around a small town of Pokud. The sword dance was held at Shrewtide at the beginning of Lent, and the performers, known as carolers, went from door to door singing and dancing at each house. The custom disappeared at the end of World War II, when the Germans were expelled, and Pospisil's film is the only record we have.
Mého otce, kde se narodil a přijel tu asi od svých 16 let. No jsem se jezdil právě v tátu, když jsme hráli na kolegu. Tu jsme šli ještě taky podívat, to se tu jako prvně navštívit. To tu by ještě Němci, městská rodina, a ty museli odstěhovat v 50. letech přesil do Německa. No, to odešlo třeba právě koleji, protože ty pamětníci, jak ty Němec odešli, že se musel potom schánět, jo. V různých chalupách zase třeba v jiné vesnici žil ještě ten, tam žil zase jiný, teď chodili, nad tím se dostali, že se to dostalo za kulta zpátky.
Velké dějiny ale stojí na malých lidech a v momentě, když bylo německé obyvatelstvo po roce 1945 odsunuto, přirozeně dosídlené obyvatelstvo k tomu